Welcome to day 2 of Anne's Summer Look Week of Webisodes. Now today we have 2 new things, 2 embossing folders.
And wait till you see what Anne has done with them.
That's exactly right. Come play with us. Well, here are the 2 embossing folders. Now, although there are 2, you kind of have 3 images. So
you
that's
do.
Nice.
There's a large swirly heart, like you can see. I love the swirls and scrolls. And then there's this thanks and tree.
Right, and the tree you've seen in a small stamp, but I just love that image. I think it's so gorgeous.
I do too. It's beautiful.
And because we're hot off the press, you have an idea on the back of each one.
Right.
Now, Anne didn't do those. Look and see what Anne has done. We're going to start with the large swirly heart. And look at this. Now you're looking at the deboss side. And
exactly.
Really pretty with a variety of ink pads.
Of ink pads. But what's great is that the deboss side with the ink set down into that deboss side. So in case you're not familiar with that technique, I'm going to show you how that's done. I have cardstock here. Piece of cardstock, I have the embossing folder, I have a brayer that you can get at Paper Wishes online, and I have 2 ink pads. You can use any 2 ink pads. The ones that Anne listed are on the gallery, and the ones that I chose are dark peony and periwinkle.
Yours are a little darker, which is perfectly fine.
I wanted to make sure you could see it here while we're working with it. So I've got these ink pads. I'm going to go ahead and open them up. So when you do this, make sure that your die cutting machine is close by so you can do it all kind of quickly. And then you've got
because you don't want the ink pads to dry out.
You don't want the ink to dry out on the paper after you brayer it. And I'm going to turn these to make it sort of easier here. You're going to do half of the ink brayer, after the brayer anyway, on 1 ink pad, so I'll keep that up on top. And then the other half, the bottom half, I'm going to use the pink. It's okay if I overlap a little bit, as long as you have ink on both sides of that brayer.
And you haven't wiggled them together.
Right. They might wiggle together a little bit. And then you open it up, and on the raised portion of that embossing folder, you're going to head and go straight across. I'm going to try to keep it even, just go straight back and forth until I know that I have ink all over it.
So on the large swirly heart, you can see that it is on the side that does not have the silk screening.
Right. So then you place that in there. Now you run this through your die cutting machine, and when you pull it out, it's going to look something like this. I did get a little of that ink off and onto the edges, but this is going to be cut out, as I recall. Well, she did it without. She did it without getting on the edges. I did that, so I was a little messy.
There are 2 ways to do it. There you go.
But anyway, that's what you can see. You can see it set into that design.
I like seeing the 2 different colors. I think that's nice.
You can do it with lots of different colors.
And you can see that Anne did a little of the corner chopper on the edges, added some pearls, did a little bit of stamping and added that on the inside of her card. She has just 1 piece. Now this is going to be inking on the opposite side of your embossing folder.
Right.
Same way to ink?
Same way to ink. You ink up the brayer, but then instead of running it on this side, you're going to run it along this side.
And that's the look that you're going to get. Okay. Nice to see that on the inside.
I didn't see the inside. That's neat.
Beautifully done. Speaking of beautifully done, I think what I love about, it's true of embossing folders and stencils, is there are just so doggone many things you can do with them.
Right.
Look at this. Same embossing folder, entirely different look.
Entirely different.
But
Isn't
no
that
more
beautiful?
difficult.
No. In fact, this I think is probably even a little simpler than the other one. You don't have the added step of using that brayer.
Now, that wonderful paper that you're seeing is called textured iridescent paper. It comes in a set of 10. And they are, as you can see, a little around 8.5 by 11, a little slightly different, but you get the idea.
But they are textured. You can feel the texture on there, but that shine is just incredible.
And what's really nice about it is that look at what it does with an embossed area.
Right, and you can emboss really easily. You can also die cut with those iridescent sheets very simply because they're not highly plasticized. They cut easily.
And she's done a little bit of just a strip at the bottom and a strip at the top, so that's nice.
That looks like
You're right,
that's
it is.
beautiful. That's the adhesive.
I misspoke. Okay, let's stay focused here.
That's okay. We're right here. We'll talk about that in a moment.
And you've got a demo?
And I do.
Okay.
I have that piece that has been embossed, and she did cut out around it. I'm not going to do that, but I just want to show you what it looks like once you use black StazOn, and you can use it directly from the ink pad, and you just apply it and sort of scooch it around just to get it on top of that image. And just swipe it, and it's just a really simple way to get it to stand out a little bit.
Now you can do it like that, or you can take a stylus and dab into it and go over.
You can do it that way, either way.
Right. It is so striking to go from what you just showed to this.
Right.
And yet it is just that simple.
I love having cut it out. She used scissors on the outside. You're going to have to use an X-Acto knife to get into some of these smaller areas.
This is also the black suede, and that is such a dense color that it really offsets the shine of this iridescent beautifully.
That's on the length of the card from top to bottom, but on these little strips at the top of the bottom and the bottom are the glitter adhesive sheets that we were talking about.
Yeah, we saw those yesterday, but there's more you can do. And what's really nice is with these being such large sheets, you can see a little is going to go a long way. So that's pulled up. She simply placed it on top of the black suede.
Isn't that great?
It's very neat.
And on the iridescent sheet here, she stamped on it. She's that beautiful look there. I can't. What is that from? That's from the labels and.
It's in the gallery.
It's in the gallery, but it's one of our newer stamp sets.
It is.
So that's the labels or 9 labels and tags or something like that.
And on the inside, look how stunning that is.
Just beautiful.
Yes, very fun. Now she's done that twice where she's taken a portion of it and placed on the inside. Inside or out is a great way to do that. Just stunning, stunning.
Beautiful
now,
look.
this is for birthday, but boy, you can really just use that for so many things.
Just a lot of things. Congratulations and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Now, scrapbookers, look what we have for you. Again, a very, very different look. Let me get all this stuff moved away so you aren't messed up by seeing it. So there is our heart, but look at that very different look that it has.
And this was done with the mica flakes, which is also called metallic FX.
Right. One of my current favorites.
Comes in a little container like so. And you can see sort of the glimmer there.
And this was done on black cardstock, but
Actually,
you've got
on
brown.
On brown cardstock. So
Looks
okay,
like
here
black.
it is. This is the brown cardstock.
Okay.
And I've got it embossed already. You take a Versamark, you just swipe the entire thing. You really want to get it down into it. So I'm going to.
So this is one time you don't have to be careful. Huh?
Right. You don't have to worry about getting into it.
That helps.
I can sort of press it in. That helps to get it down into the depressed areas there. You get it all over, but you know me, I'm going to like good enough for the moment.
Well, for on camera, yes.
On camera. And then you're going to sprinkle it with this. And I forgot to bring a brush. Do you have a brush?
I have a brush. Would you
Yeah,
like a big one?
Yeah, that'll be great. So nice brush and just sort of scoot it around on there. And look how it just immediately sticks to that. This one is called Pixie Blush, I think.
It's
this
a
color,
very
like
light
maybe
pink.
just blush. Yeah,
Ooh.
isn't that beautiful?
So it's giving not only the color, but that iridescence.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you get most of that on there. Now, what you do after this is you heat set it with a heat gun. You want to make sure that it's not going anywhere afterwards. And Anne went to the extra step of painting it with crystal lacquer. I think this is gorgeous, just like that. So that's an option for you. Leave it this way. Look at that glitter. I just can't get enough of how pretty it is.
And that's the crystal lacquer if you want to do that. Now, here is her finished card, and just extra beautiful. It looks like she might have not done as quite a good job as you did in getting the
well, let's look at
Versamark.
Yeah, she decided to leave it not quite as pressed in there. So that's a great look too.
Two nice
I like
looks.
both of them.
And the FX, metallic FX, is available in several colors. A little goes a long way, which is really nice.
And it is a little tiny thing, but it really lasts, for a long time.
It does, and it is 100% mica, so there's no fillers, nothing else added to it.
It's just
And
that natural mica
yeah.
that shines like the Dickens.
Like the Dickens. You might write that down, like the Dickens. Okay, so you can see the heart beautifully done for this anniversary page. Don't you love seeing the two photos?
That's great. The big, later on, what a great
Yes.
look. I love the little back dazzles too on there. Just
Beautifully
beautiful.
done. Yes, okay. Now we're going to go into our second embossing folder, as you know. That is the thanks and the tree. Let's see what Anne has cooked up this
Got a
time.
lot of different uses because you can use the whole thing like this.
Yes. Oh,
Beautiful.
isn't that just stunning?
That is done on black cardstock,
It
and
is.
that's done with Inca Gold. That's another one of our newer
products.
Inca Gold is actually a wax paste, and it comes in a lot of different really great colors. The ones that you're looking at here are green, and this is called a gold brown. And Anne just used her fingers to apply this. I got a little pixie blush on there. But open it up, and it's hard, it's kind of pasty, but you can just pick it up with your finger like that, kind of like makeup, but don't put it on. I think it's non-toxic too, so I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think it is non-toxic.
But she just started on the leaves, just going around like that, just rub it around and getting a nice little glow around the leaves. She even went in between the leaves.
She
I
did,
see.
so you can go heavier, just like you're doing right
and
now.
the more you add, the more layering you get, the more.
You know what
thick
I
it's going
like
to
that
be.
I'm seeing is it's kind of giving a black mat around
it
those
does, doesn't
leaves.
it?
Very pretty.
And you can just keep adding it on there, and you can keep burnishing it. And the more you burnish Inca Gold, the shinier it gets as well. So just do that. You can also use a stylus to do that if you don't want to use your finger. But there's a little shine there. She used the green up on the tree, and she used the brown gold down all around the trunk.
The trunk,
tree.
there it is, right there. She also did the gold on the thanks,
Right.
as you can see. So she did the entire embossing folder on her black cardstock. I will tell you, black cardstock has never looked so good. She also used the copper jewel dazzles, as you can see, creating a double or triple border, as well as little ones.
That is a fun look. Just take a little
Yes.
time and add some of those jewel dazzles.
And
Great
then
look.
on the outside here, she has used
the mirror sheets.
the mirror
I
sheets.
see just a piece of the copper mirror sheet. You know, she just used little strips to make
Of
them go
course she
a
did.
long way.
She wouldn't use a whole big piece.
And
She would
they-
use little strips.
And they're adhesive on the back,
Right.
so you can peel that adhesive off, and they're easy to stick on.
So beautiful. Let's look on the inside.
Ooh,
There
this
she's
way.
done it again, just beautifully cutting that out. Now the piece that was here was lifted, put
Great.
over there.
So you keep it all, use it for something. I love that black suede
Black
down there.
suede down
Just
here, and
pop.
2 more rows, or another piece of the metallic and the jewel dazzles.
beautiful
Gorgeous,
Yep.
gorgeous. Okay, now we talked about the metallic mirror paper. Here is where this has been used to emboss, and it's done on the green sheet, as you can tell.
So it has been embossed, so you can see the raised image on top, and then it was gone over with a Stays-On ink pad. Just simply that, just the way we showed you before. Just swipe it
Right.
with that ink pad.
And she didn't
Get that
worry
look.
about it getting into the
No.
little areas. That's just fine. Let it be there.
I think there's a lot of instances where you can be a little bit too meticulous and worried. You just let it get on there. That's sort of the art process.
Okay, we can be forgiven for
Yes.
that, can we?
I love the stamp.
Isn't
of
that
Unforget-
gorgeous?
Well, that's embossed on the wood grain paper from the Trailblazer paper
Right.
pack.
Isn't that gorgeous? And on the inside, she's done just some stamping on top with that unforgettable stamp, and a little bit of stamping on the green mirror to match that
Very
to the front.
unique. What a fun
Very,
that,
very
that could be a
nice.
very masculine card very easily.
Yes, it could.
Such a beautiful-
Now, we have one more. You ready?
One more? Okay.
Look at that. Does that not look just like a shimmering, icy time with that
does.
tree?
It looks icy. I also was thinking just sort of a night with fireflies or something.
Ooh,
So
I like that. And more appropriate for this time of year.
just beautiful. And okay, so that was debossed No, it was, oh no, that was used.
Yeah, this is debossed.
But the first part of this, it looks like this at first. After it's been debossed, so this is not raised, it's actually debossed.
That's why the tree is
into it.
backwards.
Right.
Okay.
So it's
turned
going to
it
be
over.
flipped over. And that's why the words could not be used this way, because it gets flipped over. And then she went over it with a fluid chalk ink. I think it was chambray, but check the gallery to be sure. Just with a sponge, go all over the entire image with that. Then you take black stays on, and this is the part I want to show you. Take another one of your little cosmetic wedges, get a little bit of ink, you don't want to get too much, and start highlighting, just going around the tree. And that just gave a little extra,
kind of a
extra
halo.
dimension, right?
Okay.
A little bit more, and I think she even got it a little darker than that.
I
but
would
you
have
can
thought
really,
it was green. I'm really glad you demonstrated
so
that.
that just on top of the blue, it just adds something like that.
It
so
does.
Take a look at what she did, and so you can see that extra
And
hint
then,
of
are you
shadow.
all saying it in unison? Those glitter acetate
adhesive.
sheets, just
Yes.
pull that little puppy off. And would you bring that back in?
Oh yeah.
Oh, not sacrifice, but just,
Right, there you go.
so there you go.
And that makes your shimmery, beautiful look.
Yeah, so fireflies or frost, you have your choice.
You choose.
It's just gorgeous. And then the thanks was done in the same way, but it's embossed, not debossed, of course.
It was embossed, it was inked,
Yeah.
and then it was just left like that because there was really no need to add any more shine to that gorgeous card.
Now she's used the silver metallic paper on the front, so all
Right.
keeping that kind of same shimmery
Right,
look.
some great glimmer ribbon and the metallic specialty paper on the cover as
And
well.
on the inside we have our tree sans glitter. So there it is.
Remember this technique, Anne uses it a lot, of going off the edge. It just creates, don't think you always have to put that focal full on right in the middle.
It's a good look. It's a very artsy
is.
look. So, like we said, we just have 2 embossing folders, but with
Right.
Anne's assistance, we have lots of ways to use them.
And come back tomorrow for day 3 of our week of Webisodes.
See you then.